All right, when we talk about algebra tiles, we have different pieces. Red is always negative. So you will see we have all of these little bitty tiny red singles. Okay, the super duper tiny squares, these represent one whole. Okay, so think way back into elementary school when you did hands-on equations. All right, so this is a positive one, this is a negative one. Okay, no variables included. You have rectangles, right? So again, red is negative. On the other side, we have green. So this is representing 1x. 1x. If it's red, it's a negative 1x. And then you have the big tiles. These are representing x squared. So blue is a positive x squared. Red is a negative x squared. And we're going to utilize these to build trinomials, okay? So that we can see how to break them apart and create two binomials, okay? So it's a way to factor, but it's a visualized way of factoring, okay? So we have here in our notes, we have a trinomial. We have 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. So what I want you to do, these are all positive, so we aren't going to have any red pieces. I want you to pull these pieces. So I'm going to have 2 blue squares. I'm going to have 5 green rectangles, and then the positive 2, those are just singles, that's going to be 2 yellow tinies. Does everybody see that? Now, when we're building our area model, we want to get this as close to being the size of a square as possible, okay? So what I want you to do is kind of play around and see what you might do with this, okay? So I might think I'm going to build mine. It's kind of rectangular. It's not exactly square, but it's close. So I would do that. Notice when I say rectangular or square, it doesn't look like this. You're not missing a piece, okay? It is a full out square or rectangle. So you can see I have my 2x squares. I have 1x over here. I have 4 x's down here, and I have 2 holes. Does everyone see that? So the purpose of this, you're going to take your pencil, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to sketch this in your boxes here. It doesn't have to be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use 5 for my big one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, this is x squared, and this is x squared. Does everybody see what I'm doing here? And then I can, we'll just add all my x here. Here's my x, and then I've got an x here, an x here, an x here, an x here, and then look, I have my 1s. All right, so I'm going to zoom in so you can see that because you don't need to see my tiles anymore. And now it looks like what we built with our tiles, right? The purpose of this is so that we can break this into our factors or our binomials. So remember way back, way back last week, which seems like a long time ago because we had that holiday, right? We would FOIL, or we would use the box method to come up with this trinomial, right? So now we're working backwards. And there's not that greatest common factor like when we did our factoring monomials before. So we're kind of breaking this up. Well, what do I have here? Well, I know something times something. I didn't mean to put that there. I need to put it over here. Something times something is 2x squared. Okay. I also know that something times something is 1x, and whatever is here times something is 4x's, and then I have 2 1s here. So let's actually start down here with our constant, because there's only one thing that can be something times something is 2. What is it? 1 times 2. And look, this is 1 and 2, because there's 2 on this side. Do you see how I did that? So from there, we can figure out some other stuff. Well, 2 times something. What do I have right here? I have 2x squared. So 2 times what is 2x squared? It's just what? It's like a big puzzle. It'd be x squared, right? And then I have, would it be x or would it be 2x? Or x squared? What do we think? It'd be x, you're right. Because we have an x here. And then we have, so we got 2x, and then we have an x here, right, for this 2x. So x times something, what are we going to put here? X. So we got x squared here and x squared here. And then, so 1 times x is x. Do you see that? Do you see how we kind of broke apart our puzzle there? Okay, it takes a little bit of practice. Don't worry. So these are our factors. What do I have here? I have x and a positive 2. I have a positive 1 over here. What is x times x? X squared. X squared plus 1. Actually, this is x plus x. So this is actually just 2x. Because what do I have up here? I have 2 x's. All right, so let's pause there for a minute. So because this is x squared plus x squared, this becomes x plus x because 2x, so if we FOILed this right here, x times 2x is 2x squared, 1x, 4x's, and 2, okay? I'm going to do a little bit of actually, we're not going to do these 2 boxes right now. I'm going to change this one real quick. I want to do one with just an x squared so you can see it. Let's do x squared, write this down. X squared plus 4x plus 4. All right, let's do this one. So again, let's think about what we need. We need a blue tile. There's our x squared. How many greens do we need? We need 4. And how many yellows do we need? We need 4. So if we're going to, again, we need to try to build it to be rectangular or square-ish. So could I do this? Could I leave my 2 greens here? And maybe I put my 2 greens down and then fill in these holes like this? That looks pretty nice. Isn't that pretty? No. Okay, you do not want to go around it. It's not going to be a frame. Because this is essentially, remember when we did box method? This is our box. All right, so you do not want to go. So what I'm seeing some of you do, you're doing this. And while, yes, it's a very pretty frame, don't get me wrong. All right, this is not going to work because you cannot break this into factors. All right, so we're going to stick with how we had it. So we had x squared. And then we had 2 x's here. And then we had 2 x's here. And then here we had our 4 individuals. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? So, yes, the other way looks super pretty. But because I want you to think what we were doing when we learned FOIL and box, all right, this is essentially our box, right? What times itself gives us x squared? X times x. What times x gives you 2x? 2. What times x gives you 2? 2. And then 2 times 2 gives me my 4 that I want here. You see that? So this is my box in the sense that I have x squared, I have 2x, 2x, and I have 4. Do you see that? Where our first and our last term were the top left and the bottom right of the box. Do you remember that? So our factors here are just x plus 2 times x plus 2. Is that one a little better? Yeah. Okay. So do we want to do another one with just 1x squared, or do we want to go back to multiples? Okay, so now it has a picture. Let's do this. This one has a picture. So again, guys, I want you to draw your lines to create your box, right? And you know we have one X here. We have one whole. Here we have two X's, and here we have 2x squared, right? So let's start with, we call this C. I know we haven't talked about that yet, but in this bottom right, this is where our constant is. What does this have to be? What times what is 1? 1. Okay, so we're going to put a 1 here, and we're going to put a 1 here. And again, it's like a puzzle. So now I'm saying 1 times something is 1x. Well, what times 1 is just x, right? So one of my factors is, in fact, x plus 1. Now, so we got to finish this one. What times x is 2x squared? Just 2x. 2x. So, and then even look here. 2x times 1 is 2x. So it works out, yes? So my other factor is 2x plus 1. So does that work a little bit better for you? Okay, we got some questions. Let's see where we're at. What about, so what is my trinomial? Focus. When we talk about our trinomial, you can do this a couple of ways. For your trinomial, you can do a couple things. You can FOIL this. Okay, we can say x times 2x is 2x squared. We can say x times 1 is x. We can say 2x times 1 is 2x. And 1 times 1 is 1. Ladies and gentlemen, look, this is your box. 2x squared plus 1x plus 2x plus 1. It is exactly the same thing. So you can collect like terms here, or you can collect like terms here. Does that look familiar? We've done this. So your trinomial is y equals 2x squared. What do we get here? How many x's? Plus 3x plus 1. Okay? Can we build this next one? Now they give us our factors, our binomial. Do we want to go all the way over here to the trinomial? Or do you want to do the area first? All right, well, let's do that. So if we're going to do the area, guys, this is just box method. 3x plus 2 and x plus 3. If you don't want to build it, that's okay. We'll go back and build it in a minute. But look what happens. What's 3x times x? 3x squared. What is x times 2? 2x. What is 3x times 3? 9x. What is 2 times 3? So my trinomial, here's my like terms. 3x squared what? How many x's? Plus 11x plus 6. And I don't think we have enough green ones to actually build this one. So, I think we only have 10 green ones. Okay? So do you see the relationship between when we did box and FOIL and this method? All right. All right. I'm actually going to change these on you. All right, I'm going to give you some different ones to try. All right, we're going to do x squared plus 3x plus 2. And on number 2, do you think you can build the 2x one? Let's leave this one. All right, so take a few moments. I want you to try to build these and come up with those factors. All right, so you should have come up with, here's your x squared, here's your 3x's, and here's your 2's. Now, some of you did your 2 over here, which is perfectly fine, okay? either way, it is correct. And you can see when we draw it, right? Here's your x squared. Here's your x's. And these are 1s, right? So x times x is x squared. How do we get 2? Well, this is a 1 by 2. And again, if you flip-flopped this, where you had 2 down here and 1 over here, then you have a 1 here and a 2 here, and that's fine. So your factors are x plus 2 times x plus 1. If you foiled or boxed this, there's your 3x in the middle. All right, this one was a little trickier. All right, because you have some negatives. So we're going to have 2 of our big boxes because it's 2x squared. But now, remember, negative is going to be red. We have 5 of these. There's my 5. And it was plus a positive 2. Well, here's my positive 2. Oh, this is not going to work. Some of you got it, though. Where did we put this last one? What was your thoughts on this? You put, oh, I like it. Yes, because we want it to be a closed rectangle. So, again, it's like a puzzle. Very nice. So, when we draw it, all right, 1, 2, I'm going to make this a 4 by 4. All right, and then we have 1 here. Now, this is a negative. So I happen to have a red pen. I'm going to make that negative. All right, this is x squared. This is x squared. And then down here, these are negatives. You could even, if you're just using your regular pencil, you could put a negative on there. And then we have 2 positives, right? So let's think about this. What times what is 2? Well, we only have what? 1 times 2, and this is there's only 1 space here, but there's 2 over here. Now, hold on, we're going to talk about that. We can either, let's do this. 1 times what is, let's go with just x. 1 times what is x? X, but it needs to be a negative. Our x's are never negative. So x times what gives me a negative 1x? This is going to have to be a negative. So let's think about this. If this is a negative 1 and we need a positive 2, this also has to be a negative 2, right? So x times what? This is 2x's, 2x squared. So what is this going to be? It's going to be a 2 and an x. And look, negative 2 times positive 2x is a negative 4x. So our factors are 2x minus 1 and x minus 2. Okay? Probably you're not going to have too many where this is a number that isn't 1. Okay? All right, I think let's just do this because it's a short day. Here is your assignment. So we have 2x squared, 5x plus 3. All right, these are all going to be bigger ones. I want you to try these 4. And then down here, you have some review. All right, so I do want you to go through and see what you can do here in building them. All right.